Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. And Bayaji is here. Hey Bayaji, how are you doing? Bayaji says Nunez wasted. I mean, again, Bayaji, it's the same question for me. Why is Julian Alvarez playing in the center of the midfield? I mean, I don't want to, start this stream on a negative note or something like that, but why the hell is Julian Alvarez again playing in the center of midfield? It just makes me feel can't so frustrated. That's the right word. It makes me feel so frustrated watching Julian Alvarez playing in the center of midfield. I mean, don't we have any other good options? I mean, I would rather play Rodri in the center of the midfield and then maybe play Mateo Kovacic holding the midfield, or play Kovacic, center of the midfield. I don't know what Pep sees in Julian Alvarez that he plays there. I mean, can someone just tell me why is Julian Alvarez playing there alongside Kevin De Bruyne in the center of the midfield? What has he done to even deserve that spot? I mean, Foden did not get the central spot for bloody 6 years. Foden first started playing for us, the first team in 2017, and it took him until 2024, bloody 7 long years to get that central spot. And what did Alvarez do that he gets it after just one season? What is it that Alvarez has done that Alvarez has played more centrally in a year than Foden has played in 7 years? If you take this season out, I mean, I don't know how it makes sense for Alvarez to play there. There are options. Nunez could play there. There are other options. Bloody Sergio Gomez is a better central midfield player than Julian Alvarez. I don't know if at this point it is just to please Julian Alvarez and let him stay at the club. May The other thing is you could probably play Grealish in the center of the midfield and play Doku out wide. Grealish is the proper central midfielder. I just don't know why Pep Guardiola goes with Alvarez, and every bloody stream I try to justify him, but I've run out of reasons. I've just run out of reasons. And we also have to remember that it's because of Julian Alvarez, or maybe to an extent Pep Guardiola, that we are behind in this title race. Chelsea, he's played Julian Alvarez as a DM, as a as a box-to-box midfielder alongside Rodri, and that's the reason we lost. In Spurs, he's done one the same things. Against Liverpool, he's played Julian Alvarez out wide, and we all discussed here how many times did Julian Alvarez give the ball away that has led to Liverpool going on the counter. If not for Julian Alvarez, you'd at least be having 4 points extra, which is what we are away from the top. Bayaji says Rodri will be on his own in the midfield. Palace will fancy their chances on counters. Bayaji, I think Rico Lewis will invert inside, and it will be a traditional back three. I think when Guardiola goes forward, then I think Lewis will stay back, and it will be something like this. I think. But one thing is for sure, I think Rico Lewis will invert inside, which means Crystal Palace will have space on the wings. One ball out wide, and suddenly you're in. That side of Bob and Rico Lewis is just, is just so inexperienced. That's all I can say. Bayaji says Pep must get a box to box midfielder in the summer this window. They were saying the original plan was Lucas Paqueta. Paqueta would have just suited the system brilliantly. And because they didn't get Paqueta at the last minute, the news is that they panicked and brought in Matthews Nunez. It's fine if you bring in Matthews Nunez. Nunez is not bad. I haven't seen any glaring errors from Matthews Nunez. Yes, it's not been up to the standard, but I haven't seen any glaring errors. It's just that Pep trusts Julian Alvarez to play there. Maybe I'm not understanding something about Julian Alvarez and his positioning centrally. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something out. I don't know, but I just can't understand this obsession with Pep playing Julian Alvarez centrally. I mean, again, it brings you to a question, if Pep is utilizing Julian Alvarez centrally so much, why did he let Cole Palmer go? Because Cole Palmer would have been ideal in that central role, right? He would be reveling in that central role, which Julian Alvarez has played for us. City have kicked on and it's Ruben Diaz with the ball. Good to see John Stones back. And it's a foul on Rico Lewis. By the way, Madrid is up in the midweek, so that will be interesting. That will be very interesting. Real Madrid in midweek. There are a lot of dilemmas there. Real Madrid in midweek. De Bruyne or Foden, Haaland or Julian Alvarez. Will it be Manuel Akanji against Vinicius Junior? Rodri as well there. That's a good release in Kevin De Bruyne, and that's a corner for City. And we are sit at corners. We're absolutely sit at corners. I mean, a few people were suggesting play De Bruyne on the right wing and Foden centrally because De Bruyne can then put in those crosses for Haaland. The lineup for that Real Madrid game will be a statement of intent from Pep, whoever he picks. Kevin De Bruyne with a corner, well defended by Palace, and Alvarez gets on the ball. Alvarez to Kevin De Bruyne, who's taken that position out wide, and Rico Lewis there. Bayaji says at least make use of Alvarez on corners. I've just given up trying to predict some things with this team. And the shocking thing is Bayaji, Grealish is so good on corners and all. We have seen him at Villa and he's rarely used on corners. I haven't seen Grealish take a corner or even Grealish take a free kick for us. This is very interesting if you ask me. John Stones on the ball. Wow. Palace is on the counter and Palace might just score and Palace scores. It's 1-0 Crystal Palace. It's 1-0 bloody Crystal Palace already at Sellers Park. It's 1-0 Crystal Palace. And where Mateta scores. And where was the mistake made? The mistake was made in the midfield. Mateta scores. And Pep is moaning sitting on the bench. Why do you moan, Pep? It's because of you. It's because of Julian Alvarez. Look at that. Julian Alvarez couldn't get into the pass and it's a counter attack there. Johnny Stones can't get back and City have to again come back from 1-0 down. That to at Sellers Park. Mateta scores for Crystal Palace. What more can you expect when you play Julian Alvarez in the midfield? It's Julian Alvarez. Bayaji says how quick Palace were with one touch passes. And Bayaji, what do you think how fast Real Madrid will be watching this? How excited Real Madrid will be playing. I mean, watching this, they would be rubbing their hands, playing like this. Rodrigo, Vinicius Junior, Brahim Diaz is playing well for them. We are struggling here, to be honest. We are struggling here. It's again a bad selection from Pep Guardiola with Julian Alvarez. Alvarez is not in the right spot over there to help with the pass of John Stones. Countania says, how many more mistakes will it take for Pep to realize that Alvarez isn't good enough for midfield? I mean, Countania, if it isn't for Julian Alvarez, City would probably be at the top. He played Alvarez box to box against Chelsea and we lost because of that. He played Alvarez against Liverpool in the position, out wide, and we lost because of that. He had given the ball away so much. I just can't understand. It doesn't make sense in a way, Kandanya, like I was mentioning with Bayaji as well, that it took Phil Foden 6 bloody years to claim that midfield spot, and then I don't know what Alvarez has done that he's getting that midfield spot barely after a year. Don't know about that. If it means that Alvarez goes, if he's not happy with his playing time, let him go. Let him bloody go. We'll get another striker. It's not worth sacrificing all these things. Play for the sake of just the playing time from Julian Alvarez. Bayaji says Alvarez missed every chance last game. So why? Oh, why? That is the biggest mystery, Bayaji. I'm literally frustrated. Literally, Pep Guardiola, he's won us the treble. He's the greatest manager on planet. I accept that, but the Alvarez selection has literally sabotaged our title chance this season. Single-handedly, I would say. Counting says, when normal people like us can see it, why isn't Pep able to see it? It's either we are wrong or Pep is denying to notice it. It's pure stubbornness, Counting. I think it's pure stubbornness. City are getting absolutely run over. Palace might be 2-0 up here. Palace might be 2-0 up. That was a good chance of Palace to be 2-0 up. It's just the ball is played out wide and it's easy. Palace could destroy City here. This was an easy 2-0 chance. Palace just missed it. They messed it up. This was much easier than the first chance. Look at how easily they are breaking through our midfield. And my God, what will Real Madrid do if Crystal Palace is able to do this? City are just not able to get in the game. It almost feels that no Foden and that's it for City. City are too much reliant on Foden nowadays. Bayaji says even Rodri is losing possession. It's just unraveling. Bayaji could just unravel today if you're not careful. That too before the Real Madrid clash. See, even Rodri losing possession, that was Rodri's mistake. But generally, I think when Rodri plays with Alvarez in front of him, I think Rodri realizes he's got that little bit less protection because Alvarez doesn't do either bit well in the midfield. He's defensively not good in the midfield. He's not got a good touch so that he can manipulate the ball. So suddenly you're playing with one member less. You're playing with 10 men literally with Alvarez in midfield because you're not getting anything. If suppose someone like a Bernardo or Kovacic is there, this is a perfect match for Kovacic to have played alongside Rodri. Counter-attacking team. I do not know why Pep picked Alvarez over Kovacic. Kovacic was a perfect person for this. Rico Lewis, John Stones, Oscar Bob. Bob does well. Rico Lewis. Ah! I thought it almost went in. That was so close. I thought it was 1-1 there. That is excellent play from Rico Lewis and Oscar Bob. Maybe Bob would have finished it, but Alvarez went in front of him with the run. Josko Guardiol. Bayaji says, has Haaland touched the ball yet? No. At least I didn't notice it. No. He has not touched the ball. Alvarez has just had one touch, but Alvarez has had many touches. One touch inside the box, but Haaland has had no touches. Oscar Bob there. That is lovely from Alvarez. Julian. That was a chance. How did that not go in? I thought that was in. Rodri! Oh, Rodri thought that was in. Rodri is clutching on his knees. Ah, this, Bayaji, this is cruel, Bayaji. This is cruel, guys. That ball should have gone in every time of the day. That is in. How did the goalie stop that? Bayaji says that goalie stopping everything today. Super inspired goalie. Kevin. Ah, Kevin swept the cross in and Jack Grealish retrieves it. Rodri misplacing it, but that Rodri shot should have been in, ideally. Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, and the ball is bounced like a trampoline of Erling Haaland. Haaland's just not able to get that touch, right? Josko Guardiol, John Stones, Oscar Bob. I just feel Oscar Bob has to do something today. So young, but he could just announce his arrival today. Rico Lewis. I think Oscar Bob and Rico Lewis have been the best players for us on the pitch today. Vasco Guardiola City is slowly starting to get into rhythm, but again, see again the role Alvarez is playing now is good. I'm okay with it because now if you notice Alvarez, since you're a goal down, Alvarez has gone into the box and is almost playing as a second striker to Haaland. This is fine. This is where Alvarez is at his best, but not in midfield. Like the way we conceded that goal. You're seeing the best and worst of Alvarez. I have no problem with Pep playing Alvarez. I only have a problem with Pep playing Alvarez in midfield. Bayaji says Gazab. What a goal! What a goal! Woo! King Kevin! King Kevin tells the goalie, stop it if you can! Dare to stop it if you can! Dare to dream to stop it if you can! आज तो तू वो नहीं रोक रहा चल तू कुछ भी कर ले जॉनस्टोन सॉरी हेंडरसन तू कुछ भी कर ले वो तो नहीं रोक रहा तू तुझसे ना रुक पाएगा वो क्योंकि जब किंग केविन मारता है तो it stays hit when Kevin De Bruyne hits it stays hit. This is just something else from Kevin De Bruyne. This is King Kevin at his absolute best. This is King Kevin telling why he is the king. This is King Kevin sitting on the throne and smoking a cigar. Kevin De Bruyne. Wow. Wow. What a goal. What a goal. What a goal. One of the best goals. One of the best goals. That was an impossible angle to bloody score from Palace getting the ball back in the midfield again and Palace breaking on us. Gotham is here. Gotham says, hey citizens. Hey Gotham. You're right here in time to celebrate Kevin De Bruyne's goal. But Bayaji, literally what a goal that was. Palace. How can Palace break on us so easily? Two balls to the midfield and they're breaking on us. Bhaiya just says, Doku, take a cue from KDB. That's how you score a curler. I mean, if Doku knew how to score curlers, Bhaiya Doku would be the best winger in world football right now, not Vinicius Jr. Because Doku does everything well. Doku does everything well except that final thing, shooting and stuff. We are Palace are just swamping us in midfield. Pep has to do something here. Palace are just swamping us on midfield here. Palace are just swamping us in midfield. They're outnumbering us whenever Rodri is on the ball. They're just going in on us. So we need to. I mean, Pep needs to do something. This just cannot continue. We just seem so weak in midfield right now, which I never thought I would say about a Pep Guardiola team. Gautam says that goal showed something, showed one thing, character. Gautam, it all agreed with you. It also showed Kevin De Bruyne telling to Salas Park, King Kevin is here, the boss is here, the father of fathers, Godfather is here. That's what Kevin De Bruyne announced with that shot, and it has just calmed the crowd down. We're just struggling in that midfield. Rodri is just getting outnumbered. We need to do something. Will use is just outnumbering Rodri. This midfield battle, it almost reminds me of Conor Gallagher. Pochettino put Conor Gallagher on Rodri and we just couldn't do anything. He had Julian Alvarez alongside him to assist, which was an absolute waste of time, and we just couldn't do anything. Gautam says, one thing if you ask me that I won before Real Madrid match, that is getting KDB back to form. And Gautam, another thing is, let's imagine KDB gets back to form. That I call it the devil's dilemma. Palace are breaking again. I'll come back to you with the question, but Palace are on the attack here and ah, Stefan Ortega does extremely well and that's gone over from Jordan I. So Gautam, if for example if KDB is back to form, who do you play centrally? Would you play Foden who just scored a hat trick, or do you play KDB centrally? I don't think you can play both Foden, KDB and Rodri because Rodri will be isolated then. That's a big question. And this is thinking that Grealish will be left, Bernardo will be right, just for the control, and Haaland will be central. Rodri, KDB, and then you have the dilemma: do you play Foden alongside KDB or do you play Kovacic? Erling Haaland is through. Erling Haaland has to score, and Erling Haaland misses. Bayaji says this is why they don't pass to Erling Haaland. What the hell? That was an easy chance for someone like Erling Haaland. To be fair. Ah, that was an easy chance, honestly, for someone like an Erling Haaland, right? Ah, and that too, it was a stronger foot as well, left foot. Haaland missing another one-on-one. Udham says first leg has to be KDB, but Foden scored a hat trick. What do you do with Foden? Where do you play Foden? That's the dilemma, Gautam. Foden scored a hat trick. Foden's pretty much taken out that chance of selection from Guardiola, but we know Pep is Pep and he can do anything. Bhaiya, this is how many such chances has missed a whole season. And how many such easy chances as well, Bhaiya. The Chelsea game we should have won. We should have had 4 more points extra, at least, from both the Chelsea games, if not for Erling Haaland and his misses. Gautam says Haaland needs to use his right leg as well. Why? Always he wants to shoot with a stronger foot. I mean, the angle was there, Gautam, even with a stronger foot. It's just that he went straight at the goalie. He should have just probably tried to put it into the corner. And for people saying that Haaland was under pressure from the back and all of that, well, That is a simple goal for a striker who scored 18 Premier League goals. That is a simple goal for a striker who is said to be the best striker in the world, to be honest. Palace are just swamping us in that midfield. Rodri, Oscar Bob, the Rico Lewis. That is excellent there. Good block by the Palace player, and Guardiola gets the ball back. Guardiola has been excellent for me since his comeback from that injury. And no, weirdly it seems Haaland is short on confidence. I don't know why. Jack Grealish is hurt, but the referee doesn't give a foul. Erling Haaland rescues the ball. I think that was a foul on Jack Grealish initially, to be honest. Grealish was trying to shoot, and then it was a good tackle. Won't say it's a foul. Bayaji says Guardiola has been impressive since the Arsenal game. No nonsense defending. He's been superb. He's against Aston Villa as well. I mean, when I saw Guardiola playing in the Arsenal game, in the Villa game last week, I was like, we got a fake Guardiola for the first half of the season, and then the real Guardiola came back. And also, I think we have been lucky with Guardiola coming back into form because Ake is injured. That is a switch to Oscar Bob. That is a very good touch from Oscar Bob. And the Madrid game is going to be super, super hard, more than when the draw is made, to be honest. Gautam says Palace away has always been bad. Gautam, Palace home has been always been bad as well for us. Don't know this weird obsession with Palace. I mean, this season, 75 minutes at the Etihad leading 2-0. Great positioning there by Oscar Bob. Great run. He's offside. I thought it was a great run, but it's handball. I think it's hit his arm. Bob has been impressive. I mean, Palace home has equally been bad, not just Palace away. Midfield battle is just the fiercest that I've seen in a while, to be honest. Palace are just physically going on us. Rico Lewis, John Stones. Wonderful defending by Josko Guardiola there. Since that KDB goal, the game has just slowed down a bit. That's a free kick in City's favour. It's a foul on Josko Guardiola. And then Tyranny is the referee. Mark Tyranny. Interesting that we have not looked to cut through Palace midfield, though on the one occasion when we have managed to cut through, Erling Haaland missed that one-on-one chance. Ah, Rico Lewis, Rodri. Just don't give it to Julian Alvarez. Ah, Palace are breaking again. And we have somehow managed to take the ball back from Eze, which generally is not an easy thing. Jack Grealish, and it's a corner for City. Well done, my Munoz, I think, who's the defender there. Jack Grealish is down. Hope is not hurt or something. Be honest. Good defending. We just can't afford to lose Jack Grealish at this juncture. Ah, I think it's another corner. Surprisingly, we've been good at corners today. Kevin De Bruyne, one of the shittiest corners I've seen, to be honest. Rodri. The shot was blocked and it's thrown. Guardiola again, just not able to get into any sort of flow or rhythm. And good that Kevin De Bruyne scored that goal. It just seemed that kind of a day where you needed a worldie to to get back into the game. The keeper saving almost everything. Rodri does well there. He does very well there. John Stones, Oscar Bob. Ah! Bob did well, Lewis did well. Just that Erling Haaland isn't in the right place. Bob and Lewis have been excellent today. Again, Oscar Bob. Stones does well. Gives it back to Oscar Bob. Ruben Diaz, John Stones. Good run by Oscar Bob. He just runs into too much traffic there, Oscar Bob. Ah, that was a good bit of football Varsity there. Enterprising bit of football, and it comes from two of the youngest players on the pitch. Josko Guardiola. Ah, for a moment I thought it reached Oscar Bob, but no. John Stones. And it's a corner for City, I think. Ah, just not able to break it. The more this game stays at 1-1, the more we will be tense, the more stressful go, the more stressful this will become. And Palace are always ready to break, to be honest. Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne has taken that position out wide. Oscar Bob playing in between the lines. Rico Lewis, John Stones. John Stones again. Ah! Could have been a worldie, Julian Alvarez actually. Could have been a worldie, but the ball was always curling away. It opened up all right for Julian Alvarez there. It opened up all right. Should be doing better, I think. Should be doing much better. Given his prowess from free kicks and stuff. Not Oscar, but Julian Alvarez should be doing much, much better. De Bruyne loses it and now Palace can break. John Stones retrieves it and Erling Haaland gets the ball, has to give it to Jack Grealish. He does. Plays it to Kevin De Bruyne and Oscar Bob is in there. Ah, the ball to Oscar Bob wasn't good. Ah, if that ball was right, I think it was such a good opportunity. That ball to Oscar Bob was spun away from Bob. Ah, that was such a neat opportunity for Kevin De Bruyne. Generally, is very good at these type of balls. Haaland does well there. Oscar Bob again on the ball. Rico Lewis playing in between the lines. Center. John Stones gets the ball. He's been very enterprising today, John Stones. Palace get the ball again there. Ruben Diaz. Rico Lewis. For me, Rico Lewis has felt the most comfortable in this midfield, even ahead of Rodri. That just shows the potential in Rico Lewis. Palace are just not able to touch him. They're able to pressurize Rodri, but they're not able to do Rico Lewis anything. Ah, Stones and De Bruyne were not on the same page there. Joachim Anderson there to intercept it. Jack Grealish, Kevin De Bruyne, and it's offside. Gasco Guardiola was offside over there. We need to do something before the end of the half, to be honest. Alright, De Bruyne scored a worldie, but where is your creation of chances? So much possession, and there's been absolutely nothing that we've created. We have created absolutely nothing. Odegaard as well there. I mean, there's a routine take, but he did well to get in position, and Rico Lewis takes the ball out. And Rodri loses the ball. My God. It skimmed the bar and gone from Jordan Ayew. My God, what the hell is happening, guys? What the hell is happening? Rodri losing the ball here already. Twice in the game that he's lost the ball. That is so close to being 2-1 Palace. We're struggling here. Whenever Julian Alvarez plays in midfield there, it's a struggle. So that was not any of his fault, to be honest. That was a throw in for City. Well done, Oscar Bob, to show up and have courage for that ball. Oscar Bob. Sorry, it's Rico Lewis, and is it straight at the goalkeeper. Another day it could have easily been 2-1 Palace. Golden opportunity missed by Jordan Ayew. But still, Arsenal and Liverpool both would be loving him in a 1-1. This is one of our toughest remaining games, to be honest, I think. And then we have Spurs away, I think, which is toughest one, and that's it, I think. Can we get through this? I mean, and mind you, any points we drop and title race is done for me. At least as far as City is concerned, the title race is just done. Rico Lewis does well. John Stones, Oscar Bob, Rico Lewis, Bob again. Rodri slips. Pep needs to change something in that midfield. I'm just thinking what needs to happen for us to at least even create a bloody chance. How many times have we tested John Stone since the 20th minute? Zero. Absolutely zero. And bloody Palace are dominating possession as well now. How come Crystal Palace are shit against all the other teams like Arsenal and stuff? And when they play us, they bloody turn into prime Barcelona or something like that and start to ping balls around, start to break like they're Real Madrid under Jose Mourinho. How the hell does this always happen? Again, Palace on the attack. Ortega does extremely well there. That is an impressive piece of skill from Stefan Ortega. What a piece of skill from Stefan Ortega that was. Wow. City are just a complete mess right now. Julian Alvarez. Underhits the ball to Oscar Bob. Bloody hell. What the hell, Julian? Such an easy ball to play. Every one of us here could have played that ball. And he just underhit that ball. Julian Alvarez. And it's a Palace free kick as well. And Rodri back passes it to Stefan Ortega. And Ortega has saved the day for Rodri, to be honest. Is there a penalty shout? I don't think there's enough in that to give a penalty, to be honest. Don't think there's enough in that to give a penalty. Paul Tierney is the referee. Ortega does well again. City are on the ropes, to be honest. City are absolutely on the ropes. 3 minutes of added time. Palace with throw. I mean, we're absolutely on the ropes here. Haven't seen City play this bad for a while now. Defensively, we are just disconnected. Kovacic needs to come to this midfield. How much does it take for Pep to realize that Kovacic needs to come into this midfield, to be honest? And it's a free kick for Crystal Palace. Yellow card for Rodri, I think. Sums up his day. Absolutely no communication in the defense. Absolute Rodri has been one of the worst games of Rodri in a while, I would say. Yellow card for Josko Guardiol, but one of the worst games for Rodri, I would say, in a while. We will be lucky if we go in 1-1 at the break. Seriously, Palace deserved another goal, to be honest. At least we've been so shit in this match. And that should be that for this half. 20 more seconds remaining and doubt anything will happen. Rico Lewis passing back to Ruben Diaz. Diaz is almost pleading with the referee to blow the whistle, and the ref has blown the whistle. It's been one of the worst halves of football. I don't know what you guys think, but for me, it's been one of the worst halves of football I've seen City play in a while. It's not at all been good. It almost seemed as if we were scared of Crystal Palace. That's how the feeling was. We were scared of Crystal Palace, dominating us physically in the midfield. We were scared of, passing it around in the midfield because Palace were just nicking it so well. Just imagine how will Real Madrid nick it? Bayaji says Alvarez or Haaland out Foden, and Bayaji doesn't. Alvarez and Foden in the same team doesn't work. I think this if this will not be an example of that, I don't know what will be an example. Bayaji, I think Kovacic. I think Kovacic is the missing element against Liverpool as well. What happened when there was a lot of Liverpool attacking us, they were dominating us physically. Kovacic came in and the entire thing changed. So I think Kovacic, yes, Rodri looks tired, but I don't think it's at 1-1 Pep will remove Rodri. But I think Kovacic needs to come into that midfield. I think, like you said, two things. Haaland needs to go, Alvarez up top, and it's Rodri, Kovacic, and De Bruyne. Or I think you remove Alvarez and swap in Kovacic. With Foden, it's interesting, I think. I think if Foden has to, I do not think a midfield of Foden and KDB can work right now. I just do not think. First thing is, both of them don't offer you as much defensively. And the second thing actually is, I do not think Rodri is the kind of midfielder to have two attacking midfielders in front. I mean, Rodri is not a Fernandinho. I think that's actually one thing which people need to realize. I think Rodri is not Fernandinho because I read someone in the social media telling that no, why can't we just play David Silva and Foden and De Bruyne like we played David Silva and De Bruyne? You can't because the midfielder then was a Fernandinho and the midfielder now is different. Bayaji says Rodri also looks tired. Lots of suicidal passes. Bayaji, how did you react to that Ortega thing? Rodri passed it straight to Mateta. It wouldn't even have been an offside. Ortega, I mean, that is one of the most sublime pieces of skills I've seen. A goalkeeper with his feet. I mean, not that was just superb. The what Ortega did there, that was just suicide by Rodri in a way, I would say. But yeah, this is so many mutually exclusive combos in the squad right now, and you have to keep them happy as well. And you're right about the mutually exclusive part. If Haaland plays, Alvarez can't play. If De Bruyne plays, Foden can't play. If Grealish plays, Doku can't play. I mean, they did against Aston Villa, but generally, considering the left. I mean, if Grealish and De Bruyne play, then Foden and Kovacic probably can't. I mean, this is just getting out of hand now. Don't know what Pep will do next summer. Bayaji says that Ortega back heel was world class. That was the difference. That could just be the difference Bayaji between us being in the title race at the end of this match or our title aspirations being over at the end of this match. Because make no mistake, if we drop any points in this match, the title is done for us. We might as well focus on the Champions League. I mean, this week is so crucial that the 1 week and everything and our season would just unravel within this 1 week. So that's how crucial this week is. Everything could be over this week, or we could come out of this week literally on very strong on top. Because at this weekend, United play Liverpool at home, and next weekend Arsenal play Tottenham away. And the Tottenham away thing for Arsenal is sandwiched between Bayern home and Bayern away, which means if we can get through this week successfully without dropping any points and a good performance at the Bernabeu and do our job next Sunday, I think suddenly, if everything goes well, we could find ourselves at the top of the Premier League. You just never know. This week is just so crucial for us in terms of. I mean, either our season could unravel this week, or we could be on such a high at the end of this week. I mean, not this week, at the end of next week, you could say. And Hotstar have named this the run in as well. It's 1-1 and it stands here. Selhurst Park. Oh, bloody Selhurst Park. That first goal was an Ortega mistake. His touch was not good enough, and that just left the entire midfield in this thing. And what a finish by Mateta. Maybe I think Diaz could have slid in. I don't know. He didn't expect Mateta to shoot so early, I think, but it was unsavable. It was rooted into the far corner. It was just unsave and it was just unsavable, to be honest. But the mistake of that goal was Julian Alvarez. There's no two things about it. It was a mistake by Julian Alvarez. That pass from Grealish to De Bruyne was actually good. And that finish from De Bruyne was just world class. I'm happy with the world class finish from Kevin De Bruyne, but that's my worry as well. That we have not created anything, and it took a world class attempt from Kevin De Bruyne to probably score the only chance that we have created. It's not even something that's been created as well. So I think Pep needs to make changes. He can't expect to go on and win this match with Julian Alvarez in the midfield, to be honest. Pep needs to make some changes. And the Haaland one, he should have just finished that. De Bruyne to Haaland. Haaland should have just blasted that in. He had the time, he had the space as well, and still he's not done anything. Haaland should have scored there. There's no excuses for that. Erling Haaland, once he goes through like that, he has to score. That's a simple finish by Erling Haaland's standards. I mean, I'm just imagining. I see Mo Salah go through like that. Mo Salah scores. I see someone like a Son going through like that. Son scores. And Rodri losing the ball once, and the ball grazes the top of the bar. And the other one was a Rodri suicide back pass, and Stefan Ortega saved him. So literally, Palace should have been 3-1 up. On another day, they would have been 3-1 up. Easily 3-1 up, Crystal Palace. That's why I hate early evening matches. Foden needs to come on. That's another thing. I think this could also be a revenge match for Foden, to be honest. He's the one who, because of whom we have dropped points at Selhurst Park. Sorry, at the Etihad against Palace. And Foden could just come up here and sort a few things out as well. So let's see, second half coming up, and I'll just be back in. It's going to be a tough watch. The next 45 minutes, it's going to be stressful. It's going to be tense. Buckle up for a tense ride, guys. Buckle up for a very tense ride. Buckle up for a tense week as well. I mean, some of Pep's selections this season have been questionable, to be honest. Especially the Alvarez one, and especially not starting Kovacic against Liverpool, for example. Especially playing Julian Alvarez as a CD, as a box-to-box midfielder against Chelsea, when he could have actually played Rico Lewis, and Rico Lewis could have done much better there. So, couple of things for me. Do you guys expect any changes made out made right out of the tunnel at half time. I think by 60th minute is gonna bring on either Kovacic or is gonna bring on Phil Foden. JSK says what the JSK, if you are seeing the match, it was just a disaster class from City. It was one of the worst performances seen. And you don't need to see the match to tell why we are having a worst performance, because whenever Julian Alvarez plays in the midfield and the worst performance of City, both are synchronous, both are synonymous. JSK says glad I didn't watch the first half. JSK, there was an instance you need to watch where you'll just be proud of Stefan Ortega. Rodri does a back pass to the Crystal Palace striker, and Stefan Ortega does a back heel, which is just superb. You need to go back and watch that back heel. Without that, we would be at least 2-1 down. Just need to go and watch it. That back heel was just superb. And Erling Haaland missed a one-on-one. Interesting. Manuel Akanji is out. Manuel Akanji is out there. Akanji is coming on. I think that is one change which I can actually see. Bayaji says, Pep, don't wait till the 85th minute to make a change. He's already made a change, Bayaji. He's bought in Manuela Kanji. I think it's for Yasko Guardiola, I think. Alvarez is coming out. Yasko is not coming out. Rico is coming out. So yeah, Akanji is playing at left back. I don't know. I don't know what to say now to Pep. JSK says, and how did we concede the goal? Rodri plays, I think it was, yes, Rodri plays a pass to Julian Alvarez, and Julian Alvarez doesn't control the pass in the midfield, and his touch lets him down, and a Palace player gets the ball, and the Palace player gives it to Edward and a goal. Palace counter and it's a goal. So basically, they scored a goal from the mistake of Julian Alvarez. Bayaji says, why Yosko off? Rest for Real Madrid, Bayaji. That's the only thing I can think of. Rest for Real Madrid. And Akanji on because Pep wants to keep him fit for the Real Madrid game. So I think essentially the lineup for Real Madrid is Yosko left back, Akanji right back, Stones and Diaz. I think that's the four we are playing. JS because Phil Foden is carrying us. Is carrying us big time. He's absolutely carrying us big time. JSK says, how is De Bruyne playing? He is the one who scored the goal, JSK. That goal was, by the way, world class. It was just a world class goal. And another Crystal Palace player is through here, but I think it's offside. Don't know why it's not offside. Ah, Rico is playing him on anyway. And JSK, by the way, De Bruyne provided a through ball to Erling Haaland. Haaland went through one-on-one and hit it straight at the keeper. Looks like Erling Haaland is spending quite a lot of his time watching Raheem Sterling. We need to win this game, guys. There's no other way. Manuel Akanji at left back is the first time I'm seeing him play at left back. And Rico Lewis scores! Woo! Woo! Come on, Rico! What a goal! Come on! There's a bit of a deflection, but the finish was superb there from Rico Lewis. Come on, City! Yes! Wow, Rico Lewis. What a goal there. Manuel Akanji, Jack Grealish. I think the assist was for Jack Grealish, though it came off a Palace player deflection, but another good ball in by Jack Grealish, to be honest, which made the Palace defense make a decision, and then that was a good finish by Rico Lewis. It was always going into that corner. A little bit of deflection from the Palace defender helped, but a very good finish by Rico Lewis over there. Superb finish. Wow, what a goal by Rico Lewis. We need to score one more just to stay safe. Look at the running from Oscar Bob over there. Great press. Erling Haaland, Erling, put in some work, Erling. Oscar Bob does well there to retrieve it. Back to Stefan Ortega. The defense is just looking disjointed even now. That's a handball. De Bruyne is appealing. That's a handball. They will check it on VR for sure. Paul Tierney is just waiting to check it. Yes, it's touched his hand, but maybe the referee thinks the hand is in natural position. JSK says, yes, my stepson scored. Hope Pep doesn't lose him too. I mean, looking at Cole Palmer, I know everyone will have this, but no. Don't think Pep will lose Rico Lewis. I think Rico Lewis could be our successor at right back. You never know. Successor of Kyle Walker at right back. Kevin De Bruyne. Gurshan is here. He says, hi. Hey, Gurshan, how are you doing? Jack Grealish has been superb today. Manuel Akanji. Akanji, can you put a ball in? Jack Grealish. City want a corner, but Gurshan says, remember me? You're an Atletico Madrid fan, right? That's the only thing I remember. I remember because we don't have many Atletico Madrid fans actually coming to this channel, but yeah. City are playing with a bit more freedom, but then Palace are also not pressing as much as they did in the first half. City are pressing well here. Manuel! Kanji did well over there. Haaland's giving the chase behind Joel Ward, to be honest, and City are just, that the energies up Pep would have given them a big old rollicking after what is seen a shit performance. Palace are still trying to play those long balls, but Manuel Akanji it's more than is very good centre back, but more than a centre back, I think looks much more comfortable in those full back positions, left, right. By the way, what a signing we have got! A player who can play anywhere across the back four. This is where the best position of Alvarez is, just behind Haaland when he's just floating. When he's just floating behind Haaland, that is essentially the best his best position. Again, a loose pass from Rodri, but Rico Lewis. Ha! Someone should have scored that. Someone should have scored that. Either Rico Lewis or Julian Alvarez. Someone should have scored that. Haaland does well to keep it alive. Ah! It hits Joachim Anderson, who's already on the ground actually. And City get a corner. How unlucky is that? The strike from Alvarez was good, but he scored that, and there's a bit of a relief. Ah! The corner was executed very well. It's just that Jack Grealish couldn't keep it down. Very good execution of the corner. Grealish just couldn't keep it down. Daniela Kanji, Grealish holding the width. Kanji again. Rodri. City need to score the third here. Rodri. Manuel Akanji. Ah, Grealish couldn't get there. That is wonderful from Oscar Bob. Oscar Bob and then Rico Lewis over there. And Gautam says, good to see little Rico doing it. Gautam, there's a special this thing with relationship between Palace and Rico, I think, because even at the Etihad, Rico Lewis scored, if you remember. Then he scored here. But I'm still tense, Gautam. We need that third goal just for that cushion. And even for the goal difference as well, but more for the cushion right now. Grealish, Rodri. The referee did well there, dodged the ball from hitting him, but Rodri, Rico Lewis, Palace come out with the ball. City do well there. Alvarez does extremely well there to come out with the ball, and Rodri switch it. One more goal, guys. Come on. Grealish does well. Kevin De Bruyne. Oscar Bob can retrieve it. Pass it back, Oscar, pass it back. Johnny Stones. Oscar Bob back to Johnny Stones again. Ruben Diaz. De Bruyne trying to do that again. Why not? That was very close as well. Gautam says how much Palace home draw and Chelsea draws will haunt us. Not even the Spurs draws as well, Gautam. Both the Spurs draws, Haaland missing chances. The Chelsea draws, Haaland missing chances. Just imagine how many points you would have got from those four games. At least 8, 10 points more. And people will be crying. If you have 10 points more right now, people will be crying that City are destroying the Premier League. And honestly, I think if we had 10 points more at this stage, then we would be on course for another Centurion season, honestly. That's how much those Spurs draws and Chelsea draws have really haunted us. And they were not that difficult games as well because we were creating chances there. There were high scoring games, and whenever there are high scoring games end to end football, I expect City to outscore pretty much anyone. Don't care who the other team is. We need to score one more goal. That's the bottom line of it, to be honest. There was a chance. The City are putting the pressure, piling the pressure on Palace, and we need to make this pressure count. Weak header, and City get the ball back. And I think it's Rodri who's down. It was a foul on Rodri, to be honest. Get the card out, ref. Get the card out. Naniola Kenji, what a touch. He's a defender, but he's got the touch of an elite midfielder. Rodri. Rodri is just not in form today. It's Ruben Diaz actually. He's not in form today. Gautam says Rodri's streak versus Madrid's legacy at Bernabeu. Gautam, you keep bringing up these interesting stats and it fills me with more confidence because Rodri's streak is something which is very good, and I think it's Olise who's coming on. Eze goes out, and no, it's Jaffery Schlapp who's coming on, who's much more faster. That will be an interesting contest, honestly. Rodri's streak versus Madrid's legacy. And also this time there's no Courtois as well for Real Madrid. That is excellent there. Nico Lewis played back to Ortega and recycle it. Split it to Akanji. That is also fine, and Akanji comes to recycle it. Jack Grealish, Rodri, Diaz. I'm just concerned a bit, not by Rodri's this thing because Rodri's just tired, but the form of Ruben Diaz, to be honest. John Stones looks a bit rusty as well. Akanji, they're just playing around the Palace press right now. Jack Grealish, Manuel Akanji. And City score! And City score! I can't make out who the goal scorer is, but City score! I can't make out who the goal scorer is, but who cares? Who cares who the bloody goal scorer is? Who cares? Is it Erling Haaland? Looks like it is Erling Haaland. And who's the provider? Who is the provider? Gautam, who was the provider? Erling Haaland was the goal scorer. Jack Grealish with the ball. KDB with the assist, but was KDB offside? That will be checked. What an assist from KDB. And good finish from Erling Haaland. That's is one of the best strikers, but that doesn't excuse him that doesn't excuse him from the fact he's missed a one-on-one. And the ref is obviously checking it for offside. This is a crucial this thing in the title race. Ref, just continue on with the game. Yes, is given it 3-1. KDB with a goal and an assist today. Goal stands. That was tense, Gautam. That's tense. Let's bump up the goal difference now. Let's bloody bump up the goal difference now. Ah, that was a great cross in by Akanji. Actually, Akanji is doing very well in that left back position, to be honest. Gautam says it's quite interesting for Arsenal as well. They went one against Bayern ever in UCL. It will be very interesting. And the only sad thing is, Gautam, that both the matches are at the same time, to be honest, because the Arsenal Bayern tie will also be interesting because the Bayern team is okay. They haven't seen done well this season, but Bayern team is very good, and they bloody have Atletico Dortmund tomorrow when City are not playing. And it's another goal when it rains, it pours. Kevin De Bruyne, King Kevin, is back to form. That was of his weak foot. He's had a goal today of his strong foot and of his weak foot. KDB is on fire. 2 goals and an assist. Wow. Kevin De Bruyne. What? Wow. Wow. He is the king. What a goal. Kevin De Bruyne there. Bhaiya ji says miracle, miracle, ah, miracle. Wow. What a goal that is. And Rodri with the assist. We can call that one. This is all Kevin De Bruyne back to his bangers form. It's 2 bangers today that Kevin De Bruyne has scored. Wow. Whenever De Bruyne starts hearing the name of Real Madrid, I guess he starts to score bangers. Can we ramp up the goal difference, guys? Can we make it 6 today? 6-1, which means 5. We would have clawed 5 goals from Arsenal back. Can we claw the goal difference back? Palace will know the game's done now. Well, if we don't win the game from here, we don't deserve to be in this title race. Wow. In the space of just 2 minutes. Wow. Gautam, this 100th goal for KDB for City, club legend. And and look at the changes he's making now. He's bringing on both Kovacic and Matthews Nunes. He wants to wrap Kevin De Bruyne in that wool and take him to Bernabeu. Rico Lewis. For me, the man of the match is Rico Lewis. Good. Kevin De Bruyne has done very well, but the character shown by that guy, Rico Lewis, one of our own, when things were going downhill, when chips were down, it's just fantastic. For me, Rico Lewis is the man of the match. Please till now. Rico Lewis today has arrived for me with this performance. He's carried Oscar Bob, not carried in that sense, but he's actually acted as an experienced player down that wing, guiding Oscar Bob in terms of defensive actions and how to support the fullback and all. And when that going was tough, he's turned up, he's taken the ball under extreme pressure. It is not even Rodri, it was Rico Luz who's taking the ball from Ortega and carrying it down. Erling Haaland should have somehow done better there. That could easily have been City's fifth. And the change and Palace are making 3 substitutes. Michael Olise is coming on. Rodri goes off. It's interesting to see if KDB will be subbed off or will Pep want to go for that fifth and sixth goal. That will be interesting. Alvarez goes off. Alvarez is going off, so we might actually get the fifth and sixth goal. For Palace, I think Palace now know the game's done. So they're just bringing on a bunch of substitutes, to be honest. Mateta, Ayu, and Mitchell go off for Crystal Palace. Edward, Olize, Nathaniel Klein, come on. We could actually go for fifth and sixth here, guys. A 6-1 victory, 4-1 Aston Villa, 6-1 Crystal Palace. Example, that would be 10 goals before the Madrid game. That would be some statement. Oscar Bob does extremely well. Ah, Bob does very well over there. Bob does very well. Gautam says 4-3-3 for City against Madrid. Backline of Stones, Diaz, Akanji, and Guardiol. Rodri, Foden, and KDB in the central midfield, and Jack at left with Bernardo at right wing and Haaland at centre forward. I just think Foden and KDB doesn't work. I think Gautam, because you have to just look at Madrid's midfield. Madrid's midfield will pretty much be Chouamini, one of Madrid or Cruz, and Bellingham. So, do you think our midfield, if we play Rodri, KDB, and Foden, will have the defensive steel to deal with both Modric and Bellingham, along with someone like a Chouamini who might venture forward at times? I don't think it's sufficient defensively. At least at this point, I don't think. That's the dilemma, Gatam. That's the dilemma. How do you play Foden and KDB? The only option I see is Foden on the left hand side, but Grealish has been magnificent in this match. Two assists. How do you deal with that? And based on the performances Rico Lewis is putting in, I mean, I don't expect him to, start against Madrid, but he's in serious contention to start at least in the next Premier League game. Manuel Akanji, he's looked so comfortable there on that left hand side. City are pressing high. Jack Grealish, and I think Jack Grealish gets a free kick from Will Hughes, who's been excellent all day today. Gautam says, I know defensively we are taking a punt, but if you don't play Foden, it will be a crime, especially with his form. Other option will be Kovacic in place of Foden. That is the thing. That is the thing, right, Gautam? Because Foden's hit a hat trick. And KDB in this match has put in as much an impressive performance as Foden in the last game. 2 goals and an assist. That too, the goals were superb. Superb strikes, both of them, and an assist as well. So he should have easily had one more assist if Haaland would not have missed that. So it's definitely a dilemma. No, it would be a crime, but again, but I think if you ask me, the best lineup to combat that midfield of Bellingham is and Modric's Rodri, Kovacic, and one of De Bruyne or Foden. It's a difficult one, but then I think in the Champions League you need to take difficult decisions. I think I personally don't want to drop both of them, but I think it's a decision which Pep will have to take because the only other option I see is Foden on the left. It's better not to play him at all than check him out on the left because he's just wasted on the left. And also, I think at the Bernabeu, I actually think at the Etihad he could do that. He could play both Foden and KDB in the midfield with Rodri behind them. But I don't think at the Bernabeu Pep will play that because Pep knows even a nil-nil result at the Bernabeu is a good result because you then come to the Etihad and no away goal rules and stuff. So you have an advantage definitely. So I do not think that Pep will take that risk at the Bernabeu because at the Bernabeu taking that risk would mean Pep has everything to lose. Honestly, because a nil-nil is a very good result at the Bernabeu. Akanji does a mistake, and we have been so shit today defensively. So shit. That would have been the second goal. A Palace. Akanji's done a mistake there, and good tackle there by Stones and good block there by DS. Palace are just putting us under all sorts of pressure. But if we can get out of this, it could be a counter. Gautam says Diaz, yeah, there's Brahim Diaz as well. I completely forgot about him. Brahim Diaz, one of our own player. So I just think you play Kovacic over there at the Bernabeu, and Kovacic knows the Bernabeu as well, better than I think most of the players in the Premier League, to be honest, right now. De Bruyne is down. At least want one more goal so that we can bump up that goal difference. That's a very good ball, but Ortega's starting position is very well. Gautam, how important was that Stefan Ortega back heel in the context of this title race, in the context of this tie, in the context of our season? I think that is one of the most important piece of things that Stefan Ortega has done, right? That back heel. Because if that back heel would have resulted in a goal, Rodri would have lost his confidence. There's a lot of things that would have gone into that, to be honest. That's a corner for Palace. It's a free kick. I'm sorry, it's a goal kick, I think. I don't know. Ortega has been superb, and Edison will not just walk into this squad for sure. After what Ortega has done with that back heel, it would just inspire much more confidence in our back line and stuff. JSK says, let's talk about Harry Kane curse. It would be very hilarious, JSK, if Harry Kane knocked out Arsenal and then Bayern went out in the next round. Of course, for that Bayern would have to play us, right? that, if you ask me honestly, North London itself is cursed in some way or the other. Arsenal have the Bayern Munich curse. Spurs had the Harry Kane curse. Now Harry Kane goes to Bayern and is taking the North London curse with him. And not just the Bayern. When Harry Kane plays for England, even that is cursed. I mean, I still can't understand how England with that squad didn't win the previous Euros. They were 1-0 up with an Italy team that wasn't no the a prime Italy team. Back in the days when they won the Euros and stuff, it was a young Italy team, and still they couldn't. Still, they somehow managed to bottle it. These North Londoners just carry a curse wherever they go. Don't want Palace to score here. And Palace have scored. Palace have scored. My God. Palace have scored. Guys, do any one of you remember that 2-0 at the Etihad? It's the same score line now. Palace are just 2 goals in behind now. My God. Just imagine if Ruben Diaz, if John Stones didn't make that block a while back, it would have been 4-3. It would have been something else. Jeffrey Slapp with the cross and Edward with the goal. Gautam says, honestly, for a second, I thought he made a mess and it will be the headlines everywhere. Guys, let us keep the ball for the next 5 minutes. That's the only thing I would say. It's as simple as that. If we bottle this lead, we don't deserve to be in this title race. That's the only thing I would say. We don't deserve to be in this title race if we bottle this lead. JSK says probably is more cursed than Balak. He is, I think, JSK. He is. No more evidence needed. Guy has to be one of the most cursed around. Mateo Kovacic. By the way, PSG Barcelona will be interesting as well. Let's get the ball back again. Now I'm starting to get tense. Olise with the ball. What a touch by Michael Olise. But that is great defending there by Jack Grealish. Rico Lewis. Just don't concede another goal, guys. All of our hearts will not be able to take it. Gautam says no Rodri and CS struggling. I mean, honestly, Gautam, today even with Rodri, we were struggling because Rodri wasn't that good today. But at least no Calvin Phillips. Otherwise, it would be 4-4 now. It's a goal kick for Palace. I'm literally counting down every second because I still remember what happened at that 2-0 at the Etihad. Gautam, we need your defensive bliss. Honestly. This is going to be a tense finale, and I'm saying it with a two-goal cushion. My God, why is Olise being allowed to run like that? Very good tackle there, but Palace player gets the ball back again, and Michael Olise is. That was so close. I thought that was in. I thought that was bloody 4-3. My God. I thought for a moment that was in. That wasn't far away from the bottom corner. Gautam says this is getting tensed, and we are 2 goals up, Gautam, and still it is getting tensed because I think if we concede one, we might concede another. This is just the repeat of the Etihad, right? And and you know it is getting tense, Gautam, because Pep is bringing on Bernardo Silva, probably the coolest man on the planet in a tense situation you want to call upon. Even Pep, because Sergio Gomez was warming up after that goal, Pep called on Bernardo Silva. Just make the substitution, kick the ball out and make the substitution of Bernardo Silva. I bet it will be 8 minutes added on. Though there is nothing for 8 minutes to be added on, to be honest. Oscar Bob did try to do all he can, but couldn't reach there. The added time is coming up. Bloody 7 minutes of added time. It's a corner for Crystal Palace. Gotham, this is tense, Gotham. This ain't over. This ain't over at all. It's bloody 7 minutes of added time. My God. 7 minutes of added time. Ah, but why is it 7 minutes? That is good defensively. Otega does well. Otega does very well to catch it. This is pressure, guys. This is pressure. Just imagine the pressure if it was 4-3 or something like that, or 2-1, or 3-2 or something like that. Glad we got that question. KDB is through. Can KDB finish it? It's a corner. That would have been a perfect hat trick for KDB today. KDB was through there. That would have been a perfect hat trick for KDB. Bernardo Silva comes on. Gautam, don't you think it's the right time for the shithousery? Erling Haaland and Jack Grealish combination. Bernardo Silva comes on. He's in no hurry to come on, but he comes on. Grealish and Oscar Bob right now. Gautam says exactly my man Jack Grealish on duty, but he's kicked it long to Akanji. I don't understand this. Kovacic, Oscar Bob. Bob's on the left hand side. Manuel Akanji, Oscar Bob. I think at this point of time, Grealish is the safest player you can give the ball to because he will take a foul. It's a City throw. Well done, Oscar Bob. And Oscar Bob is learning from Jack Grealish live. This is why Oscar Bob has switched on to the left hand side. 4 more minutes. This is getting tense. This is getting very tense. Bob is learning the art straight from the master. Gautam is learning the art. Akanji doesn't know the art, so he's just passed it back. Diaz, give it to Ortega. Don't know what the hell was that. Rico, give it to Stefan Ortega. The ref doesn't give the foul from Ahmada. I thought that was a foul, but I think Palace get the throw. No, it's Stefan Ortega right now with the ball. Kovacic does it extremely well. Look at Kovacic gliding. That's a foul. Ref doesn't give a foul, but anyway, that's a throw in for City. Palace know one more goal back and they mean business. Why the hell do we have to try and recollect the ghosts of what happened at Burn about 2 years ago whenever we go and try to play them? Erling Haaland there. Good press from Erling Haaland. Akanji does extremely well there. He could not have lost the ball over there. And now it's Jack Grealish. Jack, Jack Grealish on the ball. Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish on the ball. And Palace know the game's over right now. 95 minutes. And a Crystal Palace player is down. Bhaiya just says too casual for Palace second goal. That's how we lost to Madrid 2 seasons back. That's why Bhaiya, I was telling, why do we always have to do something to recollect the ghost of Real Madrid whenever we have to go and play them? You remember last year as well, I think, before we were playing Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, we were leading 2-0 to Leeds, and then Akanji does a mistake, it becomes 2-1 and it was tense. I even went out of the stream for 2-3 minutes then, unable to bear the stress last season. Always we have to do some shit to make it interesting. And also Bayaji, there was the goal line clearance from John Stones. Not the goal line clearance, but there was a clearance from John Stones as well. It was the last man on the line when Akanji lost the ball. If that also would have gone in, I think this would have been 4-4. This would be in the history books with that Newcastle game. I think it was Newcastle Arsenal or something like that back. No, it was West Brom United and Manchester United, I think. West Brom were 4-0 down, and back then Lukaku used to play for West Brom and they made it 4-4, something like that. This was 4-4. This game also would have gone down that path. But where the hell did 7 minutes come from? I don't. It will be at least 2 more minutes to play. That was a foul on Bernardo Silva. Jack Grealish runs into the box. Jack Grealish had only one intention there to curl the ball into the far corner. Didn't happen, Jack. Didn't happen today. Bayaji says yes, Newcastle versus Arsenal 4-4 from 4-0 and 2-11 to yes, exactly. If this would have been 4-4, this we would also been in the history for the wrong reasons like that. And that's the end of the match. The referee is not interested to add more time there. Relief. Relief is the first word for me. That's what comes into my mind. Relief. Relief is the first word. Because honestly, we were shit in the first half. Palace should have been what, at least 2-1 up in the first half. Then in the second half, we honestly conceded. I mean, if we check Palace XG, I guess Palace XG will be somewhere around 3 or something. Because that's the quality of chances we conceded. Bayaji says it was KDB show today. Gautam says yes, good job, finally won. Bayaji, it was the KDB show today, but it was also the Rico Lewis show for me. It was for me today. The first half was when it was very tough, and the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, and Rico Lewis never shied away. There were moments when Rodri was not taking the ball from Diaz or even Ortega, and Rico Lewis would show up for the ball. When Will Hughes and the other Palace midfielder were pressing high, Rico Lewis would drift into the midfield and help out Rodri. For me, an 18-year-old, a 19-year-old doing this sort of a stuff, helping the best DM in world football and probably one of the greatest DMs to go down ever in football, coming and helping him out, taking on the pressure, putting his hand up. For me, Rico Lewis showed the other side of his play as well, the leadership aspect, the character aspect, and everything. It was the KDB show today, but I would personally give the man of the match to Rico Lewis just for how he, you know, almost single-handedly along with KDB, led us through that tough time, led us uh, through testing times. Bayaji says, don't forget how Akanji in production changed the game from the left flank. I mean, honestly, I think Akanji, of all of the left backs we have played this season, Ake, Guardiola, Akanji, for me, Akanji looks the best. Akanji looked the best, honestly. He looked so comfortable. He looked so good. He looked better playing it left back today than at centre back and than at right back for me. Akanji looked very good, and his understanding with Jack Grealish was also it is top notch. Yes, kudos to Pep as well for bringing in Akanji and changing the dynamic. But honestly, I think starting Julian Alvarez from the beginning was a mistake. It was a mistake. Yes, we won 4-2. The scoreboard might seem very rosy right now with that score line, but it was a big mistake from Pep Guardiola starting Julian Alvarez. And let's hope, guys, that Brighton will Brighton away. Arsenal have Brighton away right now, and Brighton will do us some favors and they cling some points from Arsenal. Honestly, if things go according to us, Brighton, Arsenal, and United, Liverpool, you never know. You never know by the end of this week. The title race could have just turned on its head. You just do not know. Just pray, guys. Just pray for that. Vinay says, what a win. Honestly, first half was shit, Vinay. In the second half, we showed courage and character, and it was the KDB show today. Was the KDB show. Vinay says, I don't know what Alvarez provides with Haaland. Start him at false nine. Vinay, I think the best position for Alvarez is just off Erling Haaland. I mean, just behind Erling Haaland in a 4-4-1-1. But Pep is playing him everywhere except that slot behind Haaland. Pep wants to play him beside Rodri. He played him as a box-to-box midfielder against Chelsea. Pep played him as an attacking midfielder today alongside KDB. I mean, I don't understand this logic. If you have to play I mean, Pep thinks Alvarez and KDB can play together. Pep thinks Alvarez and Foden can play together. But I don't know why KDB and Foden cannot play together. And another thing I don't know, I've been saying this since the start of the stream. It took Foden 6.5 years to lay claim to that central spot when originally Foden was a cam rising through the academy. He was said to be one of the best young attacking midfielders coming through. But I don't know what Pep has seen in Alvarez that it just takes Pep 1 year to give Alvarez that central midfield spot. Just don't know. And if you had to give Alvarez the central midfield spot, why not? You could have kept Cole Palmer because one of the best spots of Cole Palmer is also central. Bayaji says how many times Alvarez was passed the ball and he lost it within seconds. So frustrating in midfield. And also Bayaji, what I've observed is whenever Alvarez plays, Rodri is much more tensed. Our midfield is much more tensed in a way that we are looking backwards rather than forwards. That first goal from Palace is a direct consequence of the mistake from Julian Alvarez. I don't know who passed it. It was Diaz or Rodri. I don't know, but the pass to Julian Alvarez, no no player who's a proper midfielder misses that because they know that in that crowded midfield one wrong touch and the opponent will counter. I mean, it's a crime in itself for Julian Alvarez to miss that ball because suddenly you see because all of the defenders and Rodri have lined up expecting that the ball will go out wide or forward. Suddenly everyone's out of position. There's no chance for tactical foul as well. Suddenly it was a 3v3. or it was a 3v2 actually to uh, and Alvarez literally sold our entire defense and brought it down the river for that first goal, to be honest. Vinay says both Haaland and Alvarez are missing chances quite often. That Alvarez, his last game, is missed quite a load of chances. I agree with that, Vinay. But today, I think that one strike, it was Anderson go lying on the floor. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. The strike was good, but it was Anderson lying on the floor. You could say yes, he would have, he should have lifted it over the player. I don't know, but Erling Haaland missed the easier one today, that one on one. He could have just, that one is strong foot. If it was his weaker foot, maybe some excuses. But Erling Haaland on his stronger foot should have just lifted it over. He should have actually just lifted it over for me, over Dean Henderson. And Erling Haaland for me, he scored the toughest chance. I think that Kevin De Bruyne assist, uh, squared ball. That was actually a tough one to score. That was a tough finish, and Haaland did it well. With Haaland, I don't know. There's just a lack of confidence. Vinicius and Rodri obviously look tired, and you play him alone, and that too with Alvarez and that too with Alvarez in front of him. It's just like you're telling a tired person to somehow, or you're telling a drunk person to somehow drive the car and somehow reach his house because there's an emergency. But then you're also telling that man who's not in his senses to have someone beside him and teach him how to drive as well. That's how it is playing both Rodri and Alvarez together. It's just a recipe for disaster. It's just telling Palace hit one goal so that we can make uh, so that we can make a Saturday evening much more interesting. That's how it sounded to me. Bayaji says, yes, both strikers misfiring in the crunch time of the season. And that's why I'm glad, Bayaji, that we are having Phil Foden. That's why he does this sort of a celebration. I think glad that we have Phil Foden firing actually. Otherwise, I think we are fighting for top four right now. Imagine if Phil Foden was not firing, we don't win that Everton game where we went 1-0 down. We don't win that Brentford game where we are 1-0 down. We don't win that Aston Villa game where we are level 1-1. A lot of examples. There are at least one or two more games that are there when we don't win that United game, for example, when we are 1-0 down and Foden, it's that wonderful shot. Phil Foden has been the best striker at City right now in terms of striking the ball. Vinay says Haaland takes extra touch to shoot it from his left foot. I mean, even after he took the touch, Vinay, still he had a lot of time, I think, for his for a striker of his quality. Still he had the time to place it. Or if he was hitting it straight at the keeper, he should have used some power. He just tried to slot it cutely on the side of the keeper. But then, when you're a striker, you have these tactical sessions. I mean, every player has this. But I'm sure with Haaland, City would have showed how the Palace goalkeeper Dean Henderson saves, and Dean Henderson uses a lot of foot to make the saves, just like De Gea. And when a keeper uses a lot of foot to make the saves, as a striker, he could just stretch the foot out. So you either lift it on top of him or you place it into the corner. So Haaland was just off it today for me. Bayaji says it feels like Haaland missing 1v1 chance every game. He should block Raheem Sterling. I personally feel Bayaji Haaland is taking some personal tutoring lessons from Erling Haaland. Sorry, from Raheem Sterling on how to finish. And Gabriel Jesus is also chipping him as an assistant tutor. And that is how it's just made worse for Erling Haaland. Bayaji says, at this point, I'm more confident about trailing in away games and winning than at home. It's been a feature of our season, right? Bayaji, Everton away, trailing and then winning. Brentford away, trailing and then winning. Palace away, trailing and then winning. Chelsea away. I think we trailed and then we came back. Spurs away, we still have to play. I mean, this was, I mean, even I don't know why, but even at 4-2, it was a tense game. I mean, even at 4-2, I was thinking, well, it could be 4-4. It could be 4-4 easily. That's how tense I was. Even at 4-2. I don't know why. And anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining the stream. It was actually lovely having you all in here. Thanks a lot. Thank you again, Gautam. Thank you again, Bayaji. Thank you, JSK, and thank you, Kandanya, uh, for coming on onto the stream and having your lovely comments. And let's hope that Brighton and United do us a favor today. And let's hope the title race turns on its head. Just imagine if the title race turns on its head and then we head into that Real Madrid game. How much confident will we be? Anyway, guys, thanks a lot and